You know, I did a video yesterday about car insurance, namely uninsured drivers when they smack into other uninsured drivers. Hopefully, if the results of the consultation are successful, they'll no longer be able to make a claim, therefore penalising the rest of us for their own driving with no insurance. Wouldn't that be a thing? Well, one of the things that I showed in that video was some footage from the dash cam of my vehicle when I had my own accident in 2020, 4 years ago. As I said to the copper at the time, I've been driving for all that time and I've never had one incident ever. And you know what he said to me? He said, time caught up with you, catches up with everybody eventually. He may have a point with that, you never know. Well, what actually happened, I wanted to give you the details on the day. You saw the footage, you can go and have a look at that. Send shivers down my spine. I was actually on my way to Gatwick to drop some people off. I had 2 passengers on board, regular customers of mine. I dropped them off without incident, and I went to the garage and got myself a trusty can of Andy's Cola, the same stuff you usually see me drink on a Sunday night, and proceeded to make my way home. I actually had my mum round my house on that day because something was planned. I can't quite remember what it was, but something was planned. And I sent my wife a text message before I started driving, which was simply the word done. That's the arrangement. Every time I leave an airport, I always send her that one word, because then that tells her I'm okay, I'm on my way home. And then if she doesn't get that word, she knows something's amiss. Anyway, sent her the word done and I carried on. I get onto the M26 on the way home and everything's proceeding normally. And up ahead, I see something a bit unusual. I see that there's a car in the central reservation, and then there's another car parked in the hard shoulder. And effectively, it was an accident. You could see it, and people were being helped out of this car that was in the central reservation. So I thought, hey, I better slow right down here, just give myself a bit more breathing room. In front of me there was a little blue car. In front of them there was another car again, so we were like a procession of 3 cars heading towards this accident that had already taken place. Now, the car at the front of the pack slowed down in a live lane. I can only assume, looking back on it, hindsight's a wonderful thing after all, that they wanted to help with what was going on the scene of the accident. I saw this and acted accordingly. Well, the person in between us didn't react, or just didn't react in time, and the result was chaos. As you saw in the footage, they lost control of the car and swerved into the hard shoulder right behind this Volvo. I'm presented with a gap to go through, and I think to myself, right, okay, bear in mind I'm driving a 8-seater minibus. You have to be careful with evasive manoeuvres with those things, otherwise they'll tip over. So I went for this gap where I thought I could save myself. The little car obviously saw the Volvo in the hard shoulder in front of it and thought, oh my God, swerved the other way. So I quickly changed my direction and think, okay, I'm going to make it. Just at that point in time, the little car swung back across into the side of my bus and pushed me, wing first, into the part Volvo in the hard shoulder. And with the size and speed of the impact, what actually happened, I was spun round and I ended up coming to rest the direction I'd just driven from so it was like a complete turn. The airbag went off in my face, and where I'd made a last-ditch attempt to save myself and put a hard lock on the wheel to try and swerve round and out of trouble, my arm was across the wheel, and when the airbag went off, I ended up bopping myself one. I ended up with a fat lip for a few days. Hey, I can take a punch. Shame it was off me. And then there was like a big rotation as well. Injury-wise, fat lip, couple of cuts and bruises, and I had to have some physio on a shoulder as a result of the twist, and it's an injury that still bugs me off and on to this day. I got compensated through the insurance company, got a car. As you know, with all insurers, they never give you the amount of money straight away to replace what you had, and even when you're finished with negotiating with them, you never quite get enough, do you? So that's where I ended up buying my Mercedes, which I had when you all first met me all those years ago. And in any trauma like that, it's always best to get back in the saddle. Don't sit and dwell on it. Just get back in the saddle and carry on. And that's what I did. I mean, now I still drive. I like to drive, do the airport runs, but I have other guys doing it for me who I'm able to provide work to. So that's all good. But it's something that bothered me for a time, because you think, what if? What if I did this? What if I did that? What if I went the other way? And the funny thing is, the whole story took me a few minutes to describe to you. Took about 5-10 seconds to play out in real time. That's how quick it is. That's how much you have to concentrate with driving to that degree. And I'm just thankful that I didn't have those two regular customers with me at the time. I showed my dad the footage, because as I've said many times, he's a retired copper. And he said, I'm damn lucky. If I'd gone into that vehicle slightly further around the other way, could have been very different, very different. So I'm still here and I'm still talking about it. And of course there's those out there that aren't as lucky, who don't walk away from things like that, and life-changing for them and others. So when you get someone that's uninsured and you know, reckless enough to do that and put themselves and others at risk, doesn't sit well with me. Doesn't sit well with me at all. And I think the punishments should be severe. If that, you know, ability to claim is taken away from them, they won't put the prices down for everyone else. You guarantee it. Absolutely guarantee it. Anyway, there you go. That's what happened in a nutshell. Here's another video for you. Thanks for listening. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the hell out of my stuff. Look forward to talking to you again soon. Toodaloo.